Okay, thank y'all so much for click and play, man. Y'all are dope. I just want to say that. I'm not going to keep on saying y'all are amazing. Thank you so much for click and play. I'm gonna stop saying that because I'm starting to realize that I'm sounding a little goofy when I do that. At least I think I am, but I do appreciate y'all for click and play. So we're checking out this one right here because this one is close to home. Don't know if y'all know this. If you're new to this channel, I'm from Washington, D.C., and we live in Maryland, which is a hop, skip, and a jump away from D.C. As a matter of fact, our first apartment when we were 19 years old, my wife and I, before we got married, it's right across the street from D.C. One side of the street was D.C., the other side of the street was Maryland, and it was separated by Southern Avenue. Southern Avenue separates Maryland from D.C. right across the street, and they both was equally hood. but this one right here talks about the DC mayor, Muriel Bowser, and how she slammed for complaining about migrants being sent to Washington because apparently she's saying that shelters are being overrun by migrants right now. And 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 that's a problem, but apparently it's because of her and the rules that I mean the things that she wanted passed in DC. So let's see how this goes off, man. And anybody that's from DC that see this, don't be daggone sending me mean messages and all that other stuff. All I do is report the news, brother. That's all I do is report the news.
All right, now new and fascinating developments tonight in the Biden open borders crisis as failing D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, she's now claiming that illegal immigrants are crowding D.C. homeless shelters. She's upset about it, and she claims they're being tricked into hopping on buses to our nation's capital. She's upset about it. Take a look.
This is a very significant issue. We have for sure called on the federal government to work across state lines to prevent people from really being tricked into getting on buses. We think they're largely asylum seekers who are going to final destinations that are not Washington, D.C. I worked with the White House to make sure that FEMA provided a grant to a local organization that is providing services to folks. But I fear that they're being tricked into nationwide bus trips when their final destinations are places all over the United States of America.
Translation, she doesn't want them in our nation's capital. You might remember Texas Governor Greg Abbott. He has been standing up to Biden's border disaster and lawlessness. And yep, he's busing the migrants right to Biden's doorstep in D.C. Now, maybe Muriel Bowser will now get a glimpse of what border communities in South Texas have been dealing with every single day. And
that's so petty. Yo, that's so petty, man. That's so petty. And she said, look, we got all these black people out here that can't find anywhere to listen. When we go to like hockey games, baseball games, basketball games, when we go to a Wizards game, man, and we're trying to drive to their like down Chinatown is where the Wizards Stadium is. We pass probably like 2 or 3 huge shelters down in that area, and them bad boys at a certain time of the day, they got to clean out the shelters. They got to put everyone out. Like, everybody get your stuff and get out. Make sure you have your stuff because we got to wipe down the beds and we got to change the linens and we got to clean up the bathrooms and all this other stuff. Y'all got to go. Don't know where you're going to go, but you got to go. And if you want beds, when we're done, you got to make sure you're here by a certain time in order to get those beds. So while they're out, all you see is people hanging around in those areas, and it's a lot of them. It's a lot of people. God bless them. It's a lot of people who don't have shelter and who have made bad decisions or throughout their lives or who are sick. Anyway, so it's a whole lot of people out there in DC. And now she's starting to hear complaints. She's starting to, like, people are saying, look, I can't find a shelter to sleep anymore. Like, what's going on? Like, it's them daggone immigrants. It's nothing but them here. And what's going on? And now that it hits home, people don't really like to handle a situation until it hits their doorstep, until it hits home. And that's the issue right now. It's hitting home. And she's starting to see what Texas and Florida are going through. And she's like, whoa, maybe we should put up a wall right here because they're tricking y'all to get on buses and come here when y'all supposed to be going.
And the Texas governor and every other border state governor needs to now do the same thing. Bus every single illegal immigrant aided and abetted by Joe Biden who's not enforcing federal law and send them right out to Washington, D.C. Send them all to Washington, D.C.
No, don't send them here. No. Don't listen to Hannity. No, don't listen to Dagon. Listen, Sean. Now I don't want you or me to be beefing, but you keep on telling them to send them to where I live. We're going to be beefing, bro.
Here with reaction, author of Battle for the American Mind, which is still on the New York Times bestseller list. Our friend Pete Hegseth also landed #1 on the list. And, of course, former Trump Treasury official Monica Crowley. Pete, I love it. She's saying, we don't want them. It's too expensive. And then she added, on top of that, she goes, and by the way, no, local taxpayers should not be forced to pay the bill for this. Every other border state has been paying the bill and dealing with this problem because Joe Biden is aiding and abetting the law breaking.
And right after that sentence, Sean, she said, we need a coordinated federal response. You think? Maybe on our border to protect that border. You know, I've been wanting Greg Abbott to declare an invasion, which gives constitutionally the state of Texas additional powers. And I downplayed what he was doing on busing illegals to D.C. I think I was wrong on that. The cumulative effect of the amount of people who've landed in D.C. Heck, let's send them to Delaware as well. And they're not being tricked. They're being asked. They're volunteering to go to Washington, D.C. as a result. Now they're flooded and swamped. And she's admitting what we always knew about big city leftists, elitists. Oh, you know, we welcome migrants and illegals as long as they're in someone else's backyard, not ours. They're flooding our services. What do you?
That's true. That's true. And I don't blame her. Most people, most people do not want, they want to be real talkative. They want to be a part of every single conversation until it hits their doorstep. When it hits their doorstep, whoa, what are you doing? How are we going to take care of them? How are we going to take care of them? I've given this analogy before I even started doing any type of political reactions and whatnot. Family has a certain income to take care of their family. Right now, my family is a now 5 since my baby girl got married. Bless her, she's married now. So I got a 5-person household right now that I need to focus on and take care of. Right now, we are comfortable. We get to do certain things. We got enough space to really hang out and all these other things. But what would happen if one day we now had to take care of 5 more people? Now we do a little less. Then we have 5 more people. Then we do a little less. We got to take care of 5 more people. If I have a 20-person household, I'm out looking for a 2nd, 3rd, 4th job because I can't pay for all of them. I can't take care of all of them. I can take care of my 5 with what I have. We can take trips and we can do all these things. We can celebrate big anniversaries and birthdays and holidays very comfortably without 5. But when you start to, now she's about to start feeling it. She's feeling it already. Now she's about to sound like the people she claimed she don't agree with. And this is hilarious because this has to happen in order for people to understand that it's real out here.
What do you think Texas and Arizona and New Mexico and Oklahoma, what do you think those states are facing? It's one of the best examples we've seen yet of the complete double standard they live in. She said it on TV for us.
Yeah, to me, it's the perfect strategy because it's the only thing that has finally gotten a Democrat's attention. So I think we institutionalize it, and I agree with Pete's point on the declaration for Governor Abbott, Monica, but I think we ought to send everyone. As a matter of fact, I think Texas, they ought to suck it up, give every illegal immigrant getting on that bus an incentive, maybe $50 per person. so that when they get to D.C., at least maybe they get a good night's sleep, get some food, and enjoy the beautiful capital led under D.C. Mayor Bowser.
I would add, Sean, to the $50. I would also give each of them directions to Nancy Pelosi's home, Muriel Bowser's home, the White House, Capitol Hill, so they can go park themselves
but Monica,
right there.
now you're doxing like the left is doxing Supreme Court justices. You want to give out the addresses of elected officials?
Well, you know, apparently the White House and AOC and other Democrats are perfectly fine with that. So this is their rules, right? Sean, we're playing by their rules. They laid it out, so we're going to play the same game. Look, the border states like Texas and Arizona have had it with the invasion. This is a criminal invasion, not just of those states, but of the entire country. And those governors have decided that they've had enough. Their people have had enough. They've borne the brunt of the criminal activity, the invasion, the cartels, the influx of drugs like fentanyl into those states. And they're saying, we're enough. So we are going to now inflict the consequences of Washington, D.C.'s actions onto those in Washington, D.C. by dumping them right on the doorstep. I would actually...
This is so petty. But this is something I would do if I ran one of those border states. Be like, whoa, so y'all gonna complain about a wall, huh? You gonna complain about a wall? Oh, you don't want no wall over here. You don't care if they come over in my state, huh? You know what? Let them come in and make sure we got buses. Take this one to New York. Take this one to Delaware. Take this one. Matter of fact, we're going to take like 3 of them to D.C. Send them straight to where the president is, since they don't want no wall. This is petty. This is the type of thing I would do if I was running the state, like run one of these border states, man, because it just makes sense. It makes sense. Oh, let them feel what they claim they can handle easily if this was their business. They know it's not their business, so they can be extremely loud and say whatever they want to say, because they're not attached to it. Okay, we're going to attach you to it.
Actually take it a step further. Governor Ron DeSantis has actually talked about if any of those illegals come to Florida, he's going to move them to Delaware and dump them on the street of Joe Biden's house. Or Ted Cruz had another good idea, which is ship them to Martha's Vineyard and put them on Barack Obama's front lawn. You will see the Democrats switch gears like that, because you know what, Sean, the biggest split in the country is between the ruling class and everybody else. The ruling class that makes all of these catastrophic decisions that the rest of us have to live with. And those governors in those border states are saying enough, and I think it's long past time and good for them.
All right, yes or no, I'll ask both of you the same question. Because liberals, for example, on money and financial issues, they're all...
This is so petty, man, and it's my type of petty. I like this type of petty. I like this type of petty. It's like the biggest chess move. It's like, man, it's I don't even know what to say right now. It's petty, and I don't even like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's my city, and it's about to be overrun by what Texas and California, I mean, in Florida and all these other places are dealing with. No. Okay, we get it. We got it. Y'all go ahead, get back on them buses. Y'all, can we build this wall, please? Can we build this wall, please? Because we ain't got the space for it. No, we don't have the space. We ain't got the money for it. No, get back on these buses now. Y'all, I know y'all getting back off the buses. Hold on, let me see your don't even it say DC, but it was supposed to say Texas. That's what it's supposed to say. So y'all get back on these buses. This is crazy.
Always generous with other people's money, taxpayer money. What about a liberal adopt an asylum seeker program that we could maybe as conservatives fund?
All right, so check this out, man. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. I think it's absolutely hilarious, and it's a real issue. It's a real issue. But this right here, this is one of them things that your mama used to say to you back in the day. Don't write no check your ass can't cash. You getting in people's business that don't pay you. I don't get in anybody's business that don't pay me. It's their business. And if it's something that I have to vote for and I have to be vocal about, then guess what? I would do my due diligence first before I start to say, oh, they wrong for this and they wrong for that. Well, guess what? you about to sound just like them. The people that you talking about and criticizing. You about to sound just like them. Matter of fact, you sound like them now. And I'm talking about DC Mayor Muriel Bowser. And I appreciate you just for the heart that you have for the people in DC. Okay? Might not agree with all your, everything you stand for, but hey, it is what it is. I'm in Maryland. You know what I mean? I'm not paying attention to your business because your business don't pay me. But it affects me because that's the city that I spend a lot of time in. But I think it seems like you wrote a check your ass can't cash. And I want to see how you handle this one. Now, everyone else, please let me know what you want me to know in the comments below. And if you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I'm Van, and now we are all the LFR family. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video, and hopefully inside the Patreon as well. Y'all have been amazing per usual. Love y'all.